This is the story of our co-creation process. Here we are, two industrial design students wanting to develop a service system for seniors of Aalborg, which should help to improve their social network. Having a strong social network is very important for the well-being of a person. Throughout life, you build up relations to people, which brings value to your everyday. For instance, you might have a partner, colleagues from work, friends and acquaintances, and your family. However, these relations might be weakened in time. After retirement, the link to people from work can fade. You can lose contact with friends, and the family can be busy and distant. Finally, your partner might pass away. So in order to approach the networking issue, we thought about using the technological advantages of Web 2.0 mechanisms. Yet we were facing the fact that computer and web technologies are not an integrated part in everyday life of most seniors. The technology is therefore unfamiliar and can seem a bit scary to them, which can make them reluctant towards using it. So in order to tackle this issue, we plan to do a co-creational approach. For this, we needed to find some seniors to carry out the co-creation with. Therefore, we went to the activity center Kristensen, to Ældresagen, and to the activity center Center, which are places where many elderly come. In the three locations, we observed seniors carrying out different activities taking place. We also interviewed a number of seniors focusing on problems and opportunities regarding social relations and use of technology. Thereafter, we sat down on the university and started generating ideas and material from the input. This should be used as the basis to facilitate a first idea generation workshop. For the workshop, a number of different people were invited. Volunteers working at activity centers in Ældresagen, and people who attended activities in those places. We started out brainstorming on the values of a social network. After that, we generated ideas on ways to improve social relations by use of pre-made idea cards. The outcome of the workshop was a collection of values to build a service from and a number of ideas to develop further. Back at the university, we worked on transforming 6 of the developed ideas into a prototype, which should represent the communication mechanisms of web-based interaction. A low-tech representation was chosen in order to allow elderly to test the experience without being limited by the technology. The developed prototype consisted of booklets and notes for seniors to fill out and hang on boards, which were put in Kristensen, Ældresagen and Center. Here the seniors could put own initiatives for new activities. They could read and comment on stories that other people wrote. Also, they could offer, ask for help, and inform others about activities taking place in the local area. The prototypes were tested a couple of weeks in order to get response from a range of people. We ended up with input for each of the elements that gave examples on specific cases for which the service could be relevant. We then developed the 4 most successful of the tested elements further and used the examples from seniors to create possible scenarios for the service experience. This was turned into material that should help to facilitate a second round of workshops. 3 workshops were held with people who had also participated earlier, in which service scenarios were built. In each of the workshops, the participants defined which personal information was relevant for them to share in a social network page. This was done by having them creating a personal board with content to establish interest and trust. Then we went through a specific use scenario by first creating the necessary content of, for instance, a story. After that, the steps of the scenario were defined by use of cards. This created the possibility to build a solution that related to the individual skills and personal context of the participant. The outcome of the workshop gave requirements for the solution and specified the service experience further. This helped us to define the underlying elements needed to achieve and support the desired user experience. Once that both front and back office requirements were defined, it was possible to develop a concrete concept solution. A second prototype was made consisting of a paper simulation of a web platform. The prototype was tested in 4 sessions with different seniors in order to create a suitable product interaction experience alongside having them act out the person-to-person experience. A specific scenario was carried out by giving a role to each of the participants, where they first had to interact with the web prototype. The chosen representation of the prototype gave a quite accurate image of the service web page, but by not having the technology as a barrier made it possible for the seniors to feel comfortable using it. It was easy for them to understand, and the handmade material gave an impression of being open for improvements. Afterwards, they acted out the person-to-person experience of the scenario. From the feedback on the test, we had even more requirements for the service to build on. In the end, the different co-creation events helped us to define a solution, the service Cruz. The seniors who had participated were quite satisfied. They thought it had been interesting, they could see their ideas brought to life, the solution created value for them and related to their capabilities and mindset. We were also quite happy, as we had a fun and learningful process. We gathered the perspectives of different people and created a meaningful solution for the seniors.